Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to a live Manchester United news, transfer news and exciting update news show. We're going to get into news from Fabrizio Romano. We're going to get into news suggesting Manchester United are going to act quick this summer. We've got updates on Leny Yoro, Olise and Branthwaite to get into, which is particularly exciting. Casemiro to be the first sale on that to happen relatively quickly, which will allow United funds to spend. Obviously, Greenwood and Sancho set to be sold, which is going to give Manchester United funds to spend. Essentially, there's basically an article sort of breaking down Manchester United's transfer plans, the ins, the outs, what could be happening. And if that is pulled off, it's going to be particularly exciting. So we're going to dive in to all the latest Manchester United news for you guys. Get it out of the way in the next 30 minutes. Hope the stream quality is okay. I do apologize for any echo. I don't have my mic on me at the moment, which is annoying, but hopefully the stream goes smooth. And I want to get into these first stories. Manchester United want to get deals done early this summer and are ready to test the waters for a few targets, including Jared Branthwaite with an early £55 million bid. Ratcliffe has made solving Manchester United's poor recruitment strategy a priority and wants Manchester United to act quicker and more efficient in the summer window, and that Manchester United may move to get a Olise deal done quick. Now, actions speak louder than words. We do get told every year Man United want to do things differently. Man United are going to act quick. And then we get told there's no money, there's no value in the market. Then there's an excuse. We don't have the money. FFP, we need to sell fast. Excuses. FC. This time, you know what? The media is saying we want to get deals done early and INEOS want to change things. I believe INEOS want to change things. But is it going to be we want to get deals done early like they say every year and we don't do? Or is it, well, this is new people doing transfers, Wilcox, potentially Ashworth, Barada, new regime. INEOS want to get deals done early and will get deals done early. Because I want to see INEOS go out there and say, you know what? After the FA Cup final, it's May 29th, a couple of days after the FA Cup final, wait. Fabrizio Romano, breaking news. Manchester United put in bid for Olise. Manchester United put in bid for Branthwaite, Leny Yoro. I want to see action. Remember Arsenal just went to sign Yuri and Timber, bish, bash, bosh early in the window? Bosh. Chelsea just get signings done here. Man City just get signings done here. Liverpool just go get McAllister. Liverpool had McAllister this time a year ago. I want to see Manchester United do something before the transfer window is officially open. I want to see a Bosch. We're going to make a move because reports are saying that's what INEOS want to do. So do it, because we get told so much this, so much that, but actions speak louder than words in the transfer window. Actions speak louder than words. And how many times have we got told United are going to do this, United are going to do that? Actions, of course, speak louder than words. I do apologise that I didn't actually have my screen shared for a second. My screen shared there for a second, guys, as well. But obviously, it was said that Manchester United want to get deals done early and will test the water for Branthwaite. Ratcliffe has made solving United's poor recruitment strategy a priority, and that Manchester United want to get the Olise deal done quick, is what's been said. So we're going to dive into some more detail. Man United need to do deals, not bids, which is true. I'll give them the summer window and give them to at least late March, early April of next year, and then still poor sack him. I do think we should. I'm open to INEOS giving Ten Hag another year. I understand if they sack him because it's not been good enough, but I'm open to it. Nigel Blade says, don't believe any of it. Same old story every year. We've got plans, blah, blah. We've got targets, blah, blah. Thinking of monitoring, blah, blah. I mean, we are monitoring FC as well. And I think you're absolutely right. The only reason I'm being more positive about this is because it's INEOS. We get told this every year, and INEOS could be just another bunch of people telling us what we want to hear. But we know that INEOS have invested their own money into the club. INEOS spoke about changing the structure and environment and that being the most important thing, and they've done that. So the way I'm looking at it and the way that I'm seeing it is I'm thinking, well, INEOS want to get deals done quick. I believe they do. The question is, are they able to get deals done quick? Are they able to make moves quick? Because there is a few rumours going about Manchester United already working on deals and already being involved in deals. And I do want to dive into those stories. Guys, make sure you do hit that like button if you have not already. And, of course, subscribe down below if you're new. INEOS, what are you cooking? Well, we're going to talk about what INEOS could potentially be cooking in today's live show. So, it was said that Manchester United are holding talks about signing Rabiot on a free this summer. That was said by Court Offside, which isn't the best source of information, so do take that with a pinch of salt. But they're claiming that there's talks going on between us and Rabiot. I'm not sure, and to be honest, I'm not bothered at all if we get Rabiot. It was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that United are in active contact with Olise's agent, and Man United are obviously sort of in contact over an Olise deal. I mean, if we can get Michael Olise, bosh. Wow, Michael Olise for me is the dream transfer, the perfect target, the perfect move. If Manchester United can go out there and get that Olise deal done, that would be magnificent. That would be amazing. If INEOS want to make a statement, get me Olise before the transfer window is officially even announced. Get me Olise, within a week of the FA Cup final, or at least put in a bid and make it look like get here we go of Olise early on, and then it can be official mid-June. I want Olise. It was also said there's rumours of contact going on with Manchester United, with Leny Yoro, and Branthwaite's agents taking place over the last month. It looks like Sesko's Arsenal bound, but Manchester United are reportedly in discussions, not confirmed by Romano, but other sources, with Leny Yoro and Branthwaite's agents. So it's very obvious United are going for that young centre-back approach. Olise would be a great sign if we could pull it off. It would be amazing as well. 24 likes, guys, 200 people watching. Look, if half of you guys watching hit that like button, we can hit us 100 likes within 6 minutes of this video. So please do smash the likes as well. Another 10-year plan incoming. Can we do Cash and Anthony and Olise? I don't think Crystal Palace will want Anthony, and obviously Anthony would have to take a wage cut. I think Crystal Palace would say, give us 10 million and we'll take Anthony off your hands, but I don't think they would trade him. Now, what I want to get into is this from Romano. It's particularly what Romano is saying at the bottom, but we will talk about the Casemiro situation in a second. Fabrizio Romano said this, and this is what I think is exciting. He said, Fabrizio Romano, the guy, the king of transfers, Manchester United will sign a striker, a central midfielder, a centre-back and a fullback this summer. Fabrizio Romano saying United will sign a striker, a midfielder, a centre-back and a fullback this summer. Now, the fullbacks Manchester United have been linked to is obviously Melvin Bard. We haven't been linked to Loco, but I'd like us to go to Loco. We've been linked to Miguel Gutierrez of Girona. We've been linked to Kirkes of Bournemouth, but that's unlikely. We've been linked to Luca Netz, but that's unlikely. It's not really sure what we're going to do left-back-wise, but Bard of Nice is looking like one of the most linked, but I don't know if that's because of the Nice relationships. Fabrizio Romano also said, in terms of Manchester United signing a centre-back, it seems that Yoro, Branthwaite, and Todibo were the three most liked, but they do like Bremer, they do like Antonio Silva. There are other names to keep an eye on. Tapsoba was one that he mentioned. Gay was one that he mentioned as well, and we will dive into that in a second. We're going to dive into some real details on United's transfers that I think will be exciting for you guys. But interestingly, there was a report that came out a couple of weeks ago saying that, one of the first deals that could happen at Manchester United this summer was Casemiro going to Saudi. And this report that came out a couple of weeks ago was saying Casemiro to Saudi could be one of the first deals that happened this summer. But obviously it wasn't from Fabrizio Romano. I can't remember who it was from, and I couldn't find that report from a couple of weeks ago because I couldn't remember exactly what it said. But I did try and look for that report, which suggested that Casemiro could be out of United's hands very early into June, which would be 25 million plus the 17 million a year in wages, which would be probably a net positive of 30 million. And that also Sancho and Greenwood they want to offload quickly, Casemiro, Sancho, Greenwood could give United a net positive 100 million, which would be absolutely brilliant. But again, we will talk about that later on. But Romano did say, I expect Casemiro to leave Manchester United this summer. He said Saudi Arabia really want Casemiro. The interest is very strong. Manchester United are open to letting him leave. There's a very good chance that Casemiro moves to Saudi this summer. So Fabrizio Romano, the Donna transfers, tier one source, Fabrizio Romano, we know how good he is, has come out and said that he expects Casemiro to leave Manchester United this summer, that Saudi Arabia really want Casemiro and the interest is very strong. And he also says that United will sign a striker, a central midfielder, a centre-back and a full-back this summer. He also confirmed talks going on with Olise, and it's also said that Manchester United want to get deals done quick by putting in a bid, which brings us in to the Michael Olise news from Fabrizio Romano. He said Manchester United are in active contact with Michael Olise's entourage. Olise is open to leaving Crystal Palace this summer. And that was said by Fabrizio Romano. Olise open to the move, Manchester United are in active contact. Now, Fabrizio Romano did add some interesting things to that, which we will talk about in a second. But it was also said by CC Transfers that's been quite informed throughout the window that the talks with Olise's reps are ongoing between Manchester United and Olise's reps, and Manchester United are confident they can get this deal done early. We've also got Sam C of the United Stand, who gets information for the United Stand, saying that those inside United are quietly confident they will get a deal for Olise done. And David Ornstein confirmed that it's a 60 million release clause, which United will have the funds to do through selling Sancho and Greenwood but it's not as simple as pay the fee and get him, which could make it more difficult, but there's contact ongoing. Now, when Fabrizio Romano added to this, he did say on Manchester United's interest in Olise that he is considered one of the players they'd like to sign in the summer transfer window, but they do know there'll be competition and not in Champions League. You know, Chelsea want him, Arsenal, Newcastle also very, very interested in Olise. The one thing Olise gets at Manchester United is you are a guaranteed starter. Arsenal have Saka on the right side. They need more someone to the left side or someone to be back up to Saka. Chelsea have got Cole Palmer on the right side, Madueke on the right side. They've just signed Estabio. They've just signed Kendry Payes. Chelsea have got all these right-sided players that are left-footed. Arsenal have got Bukayo Saka, and that means Olise's got proper competition. Newcastle would probably be the biggest realistic competition because they do need a right winger, but they also need to fix other areas, and that depends on the funds. Again, if we haven't got European football and Newcastle have just got the Conference League, it's not really that. I don't think it's going to be that appealing for Olise to go to Newcastle over United for the Conference League. Him being a Manchester United fan, I think he'd choose Manchester United over Newcastle. My biggest fear would be Manchester City. I think Manchester City need a winger, and I think Olise has got Manchester City all over it. The only positive is he is a Manchester United fan, but I'm not actually worried about Chelsea, Newcastle, or Arsenal. I'd personally be most worried about Manchester City. I think we could beat Spurs. I think we could beat Newcastle. I don't think he's what Chelsea need. I don't think he's what Arsenal need. It's Manchester City that worries me. But those inside United are very quietly confident they can get a deal done. Is Bruno G leaving Newcastle? I think if one of Bruno or Isaac's going to leave, it'll be Bruno G. But I think it'll only leave if someone's going to activate his release clause. But the thing is, I think Bruno G would be perfect for so many Premier League teams. But I think he loves Newcastle so much he'd only move to go abroad. To be honest, thank you very much for the super chat, Rich, as well. Another good result, surely, because we had a midfield free of proper midfielders. Eriksen, Bruno, McTominay are not midfielders. No disrespect, but to Casemiro. But you can imagine if we had that midfield. Bruno's a proper midfielder. I'm not sure what you're saying there. INEOS need to act super early, especially given how hard it is for us to compete for signings. Yeah, INEOS need to act early because there's going to be genuine competition for signings. Manchester United very much struggle to get deals done, and I think it is really important that INEOS act, and they act early and they get stuff done. The only worry, and one of the biggest worries for me, is that because of FFP, because of PSR, we then faff about and we try to sell before we buy, and because we're so bad at selling because of high wages, it makes it difficult. We can do 2 signings without needing to sell for PSR. I think we should make 2 early signings. We should pinpoint 2 names, whether it's Leny Yoro and Olise, whether it's Branthwaite and Olise, whether it's Amadou Onana and Olise. We should pinpoint 2 names that we're going to go for early, and we're going to focus on selling, and then we can get the other names later on. But I do think that we do need to act early, get business done, get deals done. That would be super important as well. But yeah, midfield is so important for me, so I really do hope that we go out there and get someone like Fofana. For me, when Yusuf Fofana is available for 25 million, I think that's an opportunity we've got to step on. Guys, we're on 60 likes now. Please do hit that like button if you have not already, and of course subscribe down below if you're new. We've got 300 people watching, so it would really appreciate it if we can hit that like target as well. But let's continue on to the next story. So we've got a couple updates coming in on Branthwaite, and we discussed this in yesterday's live stream, so I want to get through this bit particularly quickly. It was said that Everton are bracing themselves for opening offers for Jarrad Branthwaite over the coming days. Manchester United and Manchester City are willing to offer over 50 million for Branthwaite, though Everton are expected to dig in their heels over their valuation. Everton don't want to sell Branthwaite, but there is the recognition that players like him may be their best way of bringing in revenue, because Everton need to generate revenue because their financial situation is a mess. Manchester United may offer players as part of their bids for him, said Simon Jones of the Mail. It was then also said that Manchester United are preparing a first bid for Branthwaite in the region of around 50 million. Man United have made it clear they will not bid over 55 million due to Everton's financial situation. A deal could be struck between Manchester United and Branthwaite for under 60 million pounds. So what is the latest on Branthwaite to United? United have Branthwaite, Todabone and Leny Yoro down as their 3 main centre-back targets, it is believed. I think Branthwaite is Manchester United's dream centre-back, but Manchester United made it clear we paid 80 million for Maguire. That was a mistake. we should have stopped at 55 million for Maguire. They're doing the same with Branthwaite. They're saying we're stopping at 55 million for Branthwaite. We like the guy, but we're stopping at 55 million for him. And they're making that clear. It's reported that there's some rumours going in that United are going to make an early bid for Branthwaite because of competition, because he is a priority with Raphael Varane leaving. And it'll be interesting to see if we do make an early bid. News coming out saying that we will. So if we do make an early bid for Branthwaite or Olise, I think that's a good sign. Branthwaite has a super high ceiling, but not the most pacey left foot centre back, not the ideal leader partner. I agree. I think Leny Yoro is who I go all out for. I still think he'll end up at Real Madrid, despite rumours Real Madrid are dropping out of that race. I think Leny Yoro has Real Madrid written all over him. But if I could get anyone, it would be Leny Yoro. And we will be talking about Leny Yoro in a second, but I do want to get through these midfield rumours before I dive into the Leny Yoro news. It was said that Manchester United are interested in Monaco midfielder Youssouf Fofana and have made contact to express that interest. Fofana would cost around 25 million this summer and is open to joining United, and that was said by Attacking Footy. It was said Manchester United have had a scout watching Mandela Keita from Royal Antwerp over the last few weeks as well. Keita and Fofana would be the ideal two midfield signings for me. I mean, Archie Gray would be brilliant, but that's never going to happen because he's at Leeds. I think realistically, a signing like Keita and a signing like Fofana would be the perfect two midfield signings for me. I'd really like to see that at Manchester United. Not sure that we do that. Maybe we get one and not the other. I don't know if we'll get both. I think we're only signed one midfielder, despite me personally believing that Manchester United need two midfielders, but that would be brilliant business from United if they got that done. 79 likes, guys. 330 people watching. Please do continue to hit that like button if you have not already. For me, Tour de World Bremer need to be the priority, and if funds allow it, go for Branthwaite. The thing is, if funds allow it, I get Branthwaite and Tour de World if funds allow it, or Branthwaite and Leny Yoro if funds allow it as well. It really, really depends on that as well. But I've got to dive into a couple more stories because I do want to talk about Leny Yoro. Now, the Muppeteer said recently to keep an eye on Leny Yoro to United. There was reports coming out that Real Madrid had dropped out of that race and Manchester United are emerging as the favourites to sign Leny Yoro. Although that was all rumours and speculation, it wasn't coming from tier one sources, but there was a lot of reports and speculations around Leny Yoro to Manchester United. Tosin does seem Newcastle bound. Tosin and Kelly do seem Newcastle bound on a free. So let's talk about Leny Yoro here. A replacement for Raphael Varane is being actively sought out by Manchester United, with Lille centre-back Leny Yoro scouted by the club. Now, reportedly, those inside INEOS think Leny Yoro is brilliant. They rate him highly and they think he's the perfect Raphael Varane replacement. The only fear is Real Madrid, but apparently Real Madrid are no longer favourites. But I think that's just a bit of agent game, to be honest. I think he probably will end up at Real Madrid. It was said that Manchester United are looking to sign two young centre-backs this summer, and they're also keeping an eye on Antonio Silva, Todibo, Yoro and Branthwaite. They seem to be the four players that Manchester United are keeping their eye on the most. Fabrizio Romano then again confirmed Manchester United's interest in Leny Yoro. He said Leny Yoro to Manchester United is definitely one to watch, and that was said by Fabrizio Romano. It was also said that, by the Muppeteers, just to keep an eye on the Leny Yoro situation. It was said that Manchester United are really interested in Leny Yoro. There was rumours that Manchester United sent their scouts to have a look at Leny Yoro, but I'm not too sure what that was. Real Madrid still look to be the favourites as well, but we'll have to see what goes on with that as well. But he did say Leny Yoro is on the list of Manchester United's names, along with Antonio Silva, Jean-Claude Todibo, Tapsoba and Branthwaite as well. Romano said that Manchester United scouts have regularly been watching Leny Yoro, and again, it is one to keep an eye on, but I think Romano believes he probably still will end up at Real Madrid, which is a shame because I think Leny Yoro to Manchester United would be absolutely perfect. Guys, I made something earlier and I was going to tweet it out, but you know what? Let's keep it exclusive for the YouTube video. But I made a breakdown earlier for another project I was working on the other channel of Manchester United's transfer targets and everything you need to know. And I thought, you know what? Let me share that. Let me share my breakdown of all the Manchester United sort of news and a breakdown of all our targets, because I've managed to find all the news in terms of centre-backs, in terms of strikers, in terms of this, in terms of that, and sort of break everything down. So I'll grab that for you guys in a second, but I had information on the left-back situation, and if I can find that, I'm going to dive into the left-back situation on United as well. But we've got news that Manchester United may go for Zirkzee, who would cost £34 million, which would be massive as well. INEOS reportedly have a massive rebuild plan for Manchester United next year. Is news coming in as well. There is a few interesting stories, but I'm trying to find the report bear with me 1 second because there is a report that I want to get up for you guys. I'm going to see if it's... I'm trying to find it here. INEOS. Is this the one I'm looking for? Is this the one this is the one. Okay, here we go. Let me share this with you guys. This will be interesting. I found the right one. So this took me ages to make. So make sure you smash the likes for this. This took me absolutely ages to make. And obviously this was just the information from earlier. And this was a breakdown of everything we know from top sources on Manchester United's transfer plans as well. So let me get this up. So obviously right centre-back, left-back, DM, right-wing striker. Manchester United wants six signings. Realistically, I think we'll get 4 or 5. Now, on Olise, we've covered all of this yet, but obviously we didn't mention this bit. The United stand understands that Manchester United have had discussions in recent weeks about Olise and are quietly confident, but nothing is included yet. We do have information going in on Olise and other stories going about. But I wanted to talk about everything we need to know on the Manchester United striker situation, because I think we know that Olise is the right winger we want, we know the centre-backs we want, but we don't know what midfielder we're going to go for, and we don't know what striker Manchester United want. But these are reports on strikers. Rob Dawson said that Manchester United have been tracking Brian Bobbery since January and discussed a winter move for him, and it's expected for them to look at him in the summer. Ben Jacobs says Zirkzee is the name on Man United's radar, who'll be available for under £40 million. You've got to remember Zirkzee's £34 million release clause has been confirmed. It was said that United are interested in signing Benjamin Sesko, although with his release clause going higher than 40 million, he seems more Arsenal bound. Joselu was a name that Manchester United discussed, and Ivan Toney is definitely one to keep an eye out, because if Ivan Toney's price tag goes below 40 million, it's believed that United would make a move for Ivan Toney. They've been linked to a number of names, and it said that they want a striker that's a little bit older that Rasmus Højlund can learn off. While we've mostly been linked to younger strikers, it is sort of felt that Manchester United will probably go for an older striker that isn't going to be much more than 30 million because they want the budget to go elsewhere. And that Omar Mamouche could be someone that's not too much older but got that little bit more experience that maybe United will go for in terms of the striker market as well. But let me know down below what striker you'd go for. I know Zirkzee isn't older, but I think, £34 million release clause, he can play with Højlund. Him with Olise, and if Rashford was back in form, that would just unlock them as well. Sesko's been in great form, but I think he wouldn't get any service at United. And I think if his release clause was 40 million, brilliant, but his release clause is now 64 million. We just spent 64 million on Rasmus Højlund. We want to spend 64 million on another 20-year-old striker that's the same profile as Højlund and overload that position, or do we want to get an older striker that's cheaper, a different profile, and invest the money elsewhere? That's what I think as well. One centre-back signing and one CM signing just not enough. We need 2 or 3 in each position. I agree. In my opinion, we need 2 centre-backs, we need 2 midfielders, we need a left-back, we need a right wing, we need a striker. We need 7 signings as well. We definitely need 2 centre-backs with Varane going. I think if Lindelof and Maguire stay, it's only 1 centre-back, but they want to get rid of Lindelof and Maguire. They want to sell one of them, so hopefully it will be 2 centre-backs. But we've got some information coming out on the centre-back situation here, and said that Todibo will be valued at 40 million by Nice for the summer transfer window. He was already on Manchester United's list since last summer, but more clubs are monitoring him. That was said by Romano. We obviously mentioned earlier that Leny Yoro is being monitored as a Varane replacement, and actually INEOS value Leny Yoro higher than Todibo, which is crazy because Todibo is at a Nice-owned club, which speaks to how good Leny Yoro is. We've actually got news on Desiree Doué that I want to cover in tomorrow's video, so make sure you subscribe, because if you know who Desiree Doué is, I've got some information. I'm going to do an exclusive video tomorrow on Desiree Doué, who is a winger, completely off topic, but he plays in the French league, which will be really interesting to talk about. But also the other option was, of course, Everton, who are bracing themselves for a bid from United. I think these are United's 3 main centre-back targets: Todibo, Yoro, Branthwaite. I think they're the 3 players that Manchester United are going to explore, but they do have other centre-back options that are potentially cheaper. I think Tosin will go to Newcastle, but it's not done yet as well. Balanced transfer window approach, removal, signing, removal. Don't know what you mean by that. 4 centre-backs, 2 DMs, 1 centre-mid, 2 strikers, 1 right wing, 1 right-back, 1 left wing. Don't think that's possible, only on FIFA, mate. Rooney Bargy is definitely a good young prospect as well, but I don't think we'll go for him. I know that we have looked at Doué, but I think we're sceptical because we need ready-made players at the moment because the club is a mess, but he is brilliant as well. I do think it's absolutely criminal we're letting Varane go on a free. Also sad Evans isn't getting a 1-year deal. I think Evans has done well, but at Manchester United he shouldn't be getting a 1-year deal because he's 37 and done well, however old he years. But I do think Varane should have stayed for one more year, considering he is our best centre-back. And yes, Varane's been injured a lot, but Varane's had less games out injured than Maguire and Lindelof and Martinez this season. He's actually been our fittest centre-back as well. Tony is a beast. Højlund would hardly get a sniff. The worry about Ivan Toney to Manchester United is, of course, Rasmus Højlund. Will he get a sniff? Will he get involved enough? For sure. But let's get the screen back on being shared, because it was also said that Tosin Adebayo will leave Fulham as a free agent, although it seems that he'll go to Newcastle, but that's not done. That is not over the line, and Man United maybe get tossed in on a free if they're going to bring in two centre-backs. One player we've been looking at heavily, and I think in June it will heat up again, is Anselmo. And I think he's one that Manchester United would sign and loan to Nice. I think if we get Todibo, we'd get Anselmo and loan him to Nice. But United have also looked at Mark Gay, they've looked at Max Kuhlmann. INEOS want this domestic proven approach. INEOS looking at players that are good domestically. You've got to remember that as well. So I think they will make moves for maybe someone like a Gay or a Kuhlmann. You never know. Olise. INEOS are really big fans of domestic proven players like Olise, like Gay, like Kuhlmann. I still think Olise, Leny Yoro, Branthwaite seems to be the three they're looking at the most. Kuhlmann, Fofana, Amadou Onana is what they're looking at in midfield. We will talk about that, but I do think that Gay and Kuhlmann's definitely one to keep an eye on. But I do think that the main three centre-backs are these names, as mentioned earlier. Which brings us in to the left-back situation. There is a lot of news and information coming out on what United is going to do on left-backs. Doué as a menace, he reminds me of Dembele when he was young. Yeah, if Man United actually get Desiree Doué, what a deal for Manchester United. I don't think we will, but if they could get that done, wow. Guys, we're 21 likes away from the like target, so please do continue to smash that like button. And of course, subscribe down below if you're new. We've got nearly 400 people watching. Can we get 200 likes? Only half of you have got to hit the like target to get that up. Let's continue on into this next story. So here are the left backs linked to United. According to Nizar Kinsella, Manchester United are in contact with Nice defender Melvin Bard as the club focus on a new left back this summer. It was also said by the Mirror that United and Chelsea have looked at Bournemouth left back Kirkes. I think Chelsea will prioritise a left back more than United and put more funds into it. Fabrizio Romano said that United will probably unlikely spend more than £25 million on the left back signing. And I think because of his Premier League proven now, because he's had a good season, I think he could be heading into the £30 million range, unfortunately. There's other names we've been linked to, and I think the Girona centre-back is definitely a real possibility this summer, if I'm going to be honest with you. And it was said that Manchester United have shown interest in the Borussia Mönchengladbach centre-back Luca Netz, but that was said by Graham Bailey, who isn't most reliable. But Sam C and many other reliable sources have said that United are heavily considering a deal for Girona left-back Miguel, and his release clause is known, and United are not unwilling to pay it. So I do think on the left back situation, that's one. I think Ait Nouri's brilliant, but he's going to be out of budget for left back for sure. Alex B said I'd rather sign Pringform and move Delo to left back and let Amas. And that's a good shout. I think Amas is great. I just don't know if it's 1 year too early, but we need one fullback. I'm not too bothered if it's a left or a right back, because I think Wan-Bissaka will go, and we should have Malacia and Luke Shaw fit next season. It's just, can we rely on Malacia and Luke Shaw next season? Which brings us in to the final position. And it has said that United have been scouting Sporting Lisbon midfielder Kuhlmann. That is one that we're watching. The Muppeteer said that's a real possibility because he's a little bit cheaper than Onana. And we haven't been linked to UEFA. My first choice would be UEFA, followed by Onana, followed by Kuhlmann. But we haven't been linked to UEFA. After UEFA, my second choice midfielder, who is now my first choice midfielder because he will be £25 million, is Fofana. It was said that Manchester United and Inter Milan approached Monaco and asked for a loan option, a loan to buy deal for Fofana last year, and that didn't happen. The Man United scouts like Fofana. Romano's confirmed that it's expected United will go back in for Fofana in the summer, but they will face competition from Italy. Inter Milan just have a very good season. They also want Fofana. There could be competition there, but it's expected United will go back in for Fofana. And obviously, Manchester United have always had a good eye on Amadou Onana. They view Branthwaite higher, but they do like Amadou Onana. A deal for 50 million or less. It's definitely one that Manchester United are going to go for in regards to transfers as well. For me, I've always said I would probably go for Fofana or UEFA in midfield. I'd probably go for Yoro and Branthwaite at the back. Obviously, realistically, Todibo and Look at Me would be your best value for money options. I'd probably go for someone like Loco at right back, but we've not really been linked to him. I think it's Loco at left back, sorry, but it's not really been linked to him. He's a good young left back. I'd probably go for Zirkzee up top, 34 million release clause, and I would go for Olise on the wing. Reportedly, these are the players that Manchester United have been looking at Bard, Hjulman, Fofana, Olise, Tosin, and Salimo. There's some really interesting names that United have been looking at this window. So hopefully we make moves. Fabrizio Romano said that 4 signings, he believes Man United will definitely sign 4 players. Could be more depending on sales. So hopefully that happens. But guys, I've got to wrap up the show here. Please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe on the way out. I will be back later for all the latest Manchester United news throughout the transfer window. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.